What's going on, guys? What's going on? I'm Jay the Black. Salute to everybody tuning in. I want to talk about Saweetie again. This heifer done got herself in another financial bind. Okay. Now, apparently, she is getting sued for taking the money and running. Apparently, she was paid to make an appearance in Japan, and the promoter said that Saweetie decided that she was going to go elsewhere than to actually perform or be at my particular event. Now, apparently, she wasn't the only one. Apparently, Jason Derulo was also being sued because they were asked to be at an event and they got their advances and they did not show up. This is almost kind of like what Floyd Mayweather did. He got his advance for the fight, and now all of a sudden he's been like low-key sabotaging the fight between him and Manny Pacquiao. I believe this happens a lot. You got a lot of artists who agree to do shows, they get an advance, and then they don't want to show up. And it becomes to the point to where they stop getting booked, right? Then they start complaining about their bookings and claiming they're being canceled, when in reality they just do bad business. And the fact that anybody is paying Saweetie to perform at an event, what are you actually asking for her to come there and just perform like that one hit song that she had? But the thing about Saweetie is that she was outed. I did a video about it. Y'all probably seen it, went viral, about the female she was cool with who was putting her on blast and exposing her for allegedly being an escort because she had linked Saweetie up with a soccer player and she was supposed to get a fee. She never got that fee. And then we never heard about that again. Last thing we heard of that was Saweetie threatening to sue. I believe she had paid that young lady off. But in this situation, this event in Japan, she was supposed to go there and be at this event. This tells me that, Saweetie did not have any respect for this promoter. And she was getting this money up front and she had no intention of going. See, this is what entitlement does. Saweetie's a very entitled female. And when you deal with entitled women like her, they feel like they don't owe anybody anything. They will accept money and things from people, but they don't feel like they owe anything back. And this is why she's single. She's been single a lot. Now she's been in this relationship with the soccer player, but how long would that last? I just think this is where her career is. This is why nobody in the U.S. is booking her. She got to go do shows in Japan. And because she probably doesn't do very many shows, she took the advance and ran. Now, if she was running if her career was in a better spot, I don't think she would have ran off with the money. But because nobody's booking her for shows like that, because she's not a very good live performer, she's getting booked based off her following and her name, right? So that's how a lot of artists in America who you may think, they're not big time artists. They may have been 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. They can go to Europe. They can go to other countries, Africa. They go to the continent of Africa or Asia, Europe. They can go to these different places and do shows and sell out because they still have a huge following over there. But in America, no one's booking them because these promoters have been messed over so many times by people like her. They don't book her anymore. So she has to go overseas to get paid. And also, she hasn't, let's be real, she hasn't been popping since her relationship with Quavo, right? And now she's dating a soccer player to maintain her financial lifestyle. And this is why, again, I tell y'all, women like Saweetie want to be famous. They want what comes with fame, which is money, right? But they don't want to put the work in. They don't want to do the heavy lifting. They don't want to do good business. See, people like her are going to do this type of business where they're getting sued because they have entitlement issues. And let me tell you something, you're not going to last as an artist if you have entitlement issues, especially nowadays. You're just not, especially if you don't have the talent. If you don't have the talent and you ain't coming out with the hits, you're not going to last very long out here. Now let's get into this article from TMZ. Rapper Saweetie is being dragged to court by a concert promoter accusing her of fraud, TMZ has learned. The company Moon Dream Production filed suit against Saweetie and Icy Girl Touring for fraud and breach of contract. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Saweetie entered into a deal to perform 4 shows in Japan from July 18 to July 26 of 2025. So this was last year. Moon Dream claims Saweetie agreed to, I think this might have been right around the time she started dating that soccer player. Correct me if I'm wrong. Saweetie claims Saweetie agreed to perform for a $200,000 fee. She was paid a $100,000 deposit per court docs. The concert promoter says Saweetie breached the deal by failing to perform the shows. The suit claimed the rapper and her entire team utilized all the visa services facilitated by the promoter, which allowed her to enter Japan, then proceeded to perform at different venues for other vendors on the same dates she was contractually bound to perform for them. Now that's dirty. That's dirty. That is absolutely dirty. Now, I've refreshed this article. Usually TMZ they'll offer rebuttal from her side, and it's not here. Because what can you say? You ran off on the plug. You got paid to be there. You went and performed at places you wanted to perform to. I don't know. Maybe she got there. Maybe they told her you may not want to perform in this particular place. Maybe she felt like the audience wouldn't like her music. Because, you have these fests and these festivals and you have, different musical artists. You have different musical artists from different genres, and they go in front of the same crowd. And maybe she didn't want to do that and decided that she was just going to take the money anyway and go elsewhere. But that's still dirty. And also she was supposed to do 4 performances. Maybe she felt like she needed more money. Now, I don't know if she contacted them about more money. But again, I don't think she gets booked like that. Like who's going to a Saweetie tour? When the last time y'all heard of Saweetie touring around the US, where most people would know her from, right? The promoter claims Saweetie and her team have refused to return the $100,000 despite them losing out on $100,000 for merchandise and promo expenses and $200,000 spent on that venue. The promoter says they expected to net $400,000 in profits from her performance, which they obviously missed out on. The suit is seeking $3 million in punitive damages. She may end up having to settle because if she signed a contract and she didn't go, she's going to have to give them something or she's going to lose. But again, I've told y'all about this female entitlement. Women of today, female artists, they think that because they're females and because they are attractive, they think that the world owes them something. Right? And I bet you this ain't the first time she's done this. How much y'all want to bet this ain't the first time she's done this? She's probably done this before. Again, I told y'all about the other female that had exposed her about owing her money. Obviously, she must have paid that female off. Right. But this is bad business. And this is why Saweetie's career is where it is. And the only way she can get booked is by going overseas, because nobody in America is really trying to see no Saweetie show. We've seen her live performances. They're not good. OK. And running off on promoters does not help you. It ruins your reputation. Now, again, this happened last year from what it looks like. So we're now learning about this. So maybe the promoter was just trying to work behind the scenes to get their money back, but obviously they didn't, which is why they're suing now. And again, it's not just her. Yes, you have Jason Derulo. I mean, you see where his career is right now. If you're paid to be there, be there. Don't run off on them, because that's what damages your reputation, and you may not think that it's going to hurt you in the short term, but long term it's going to affect you. But that's what entitlement does, and that's why these people's careers are where they're at. There are artists that you don't hear a peep about them running off on promoters. If you didn't want to do the show, you're not going to do it. And if you choose not to do it, you'll just return the deposit. That's what you call good business. But when you're dealing with these heifers in the industry, they think that the world owes them something. So let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, share. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Make sure y'all check out the other videos on the channel. You should see them on the screen right now. And I'll see y'all next one.